what's up, guys? Welcome back to Relationships, Romance, and Quarantine podcast, aka Relationships, Romance, and Propaganda podcast. It is film director Imani Shakur with the beautiful Rachel K. Burke. As you can see, we are still virtual, bringing it to you guys like everyone else I see now. I mean, even Bill Maher's show. I love Bill Maher, and even he did his show from his house this weekend using Zoom or one of the other apps. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It's crazy just seeing it.
I know. Well, I've seen a lot of people, I've seen a lot of podcasters doing that. And also it's funny, like everybody I know is now messaging me like, hey, what's the name of your podcast again? Because now everyone's at home and they want to listen, right?
They want to listen, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you are joining us for the first time, we are a relationship podcast, probably the best one, the sexiest one in the universe, in the nation, where all the lockdown is going on. We are the best relationship podcast. Let me just say that. Again, this is the beautiful actress, author, Rachel K. Burke, and I'll always show her books, and I wasn't ready this time.
Yep.
So the books are Sound Bites and Love Bites, a rock and roll love story. Read these while you're on quarantine. Trust me. You know you have the time. Google them. You can get them. You know what I mean? Don't forget to follow us on social media, and don't forget to subscribe on ISENT Group Digital. And listen where you get your podcast, man. We talk about everything. And it's rptalktruth@gmail.com for the email. And this week, we will be talking about porn addiction and who should pay on the first date when this quarantine stuff is over. Because everybody's going to be going on crazy dates. It's funny. I heard on the radio this morning, I was listening to Big Boy's Neighborhood, and someone on there was talking about, man, when this is over, you'll probably go to a lounge or a club or something. A girl will probably just French kiss you just straight off the bat without even saying hello. Because people are going to be so like...
And you know what I was thinking too? I feel like the dating pool is going to be so good because there's going to be so many new divorcees on the market. Like, you know, all those unhappily married couples.
I agree. That's forced to stay home right now.
Not going to survive.
Oh, yeah. But you want to know what's funny about this, Rach? And you can't cheat because where are you going to say you were? You have to be at home. Like, where are you going to say you went?
I know. And you know what? I think it's like great for the dating pool market too, because you know how it's like I always say in LA, it's like nobody, like all these guys don't want relationships. They just, you know, because you can just swipe and find someone else. And now you got no one, right?
Yep.
So you went from having all these options to zero. So it's almost like, if you think about it, they would have been better off just settling down, picking one girl, and then they'd have someone to sleep with during quarantine.
Yep.
Now you got nobody. Sorry. Now you got to go through the archive.
That is so funny, but you're absolutely right, man. And I was just telling these producers I'm working on this Louisiana film with, like, dude, doing a week is not that bad for me because luckily we had stuff to do, and it was the perfect time for us to like do these pitch decks for these movies and develop these films and stuff. So I'm actually busy during the week, but the weekend just sucks, man. I mean, I've never been this bored in my entire life, Rach, ever.
Well,
ever.
So I lost my job last Friday, but I told you that I thought that was coming.
Yeah, because everybody,
But I thought it was just going to be me because I'm a contractor, but they laid off our entire HR department, like 25 people were all on this call. It was nuts.
Oh my God.
The good thing is though, I read that they're giving everybody an extra $600 a week with unemployment.
Yeah.
No matter how much you made last year, any of that. So that's cool. So I just filed today, but I didn't follow the quarantine guidelines. I actually took a road trip to Arizona last week.
Oh, you did? Why'd you do that?
Because I got a friend out there and she's been quarantined by herself for weeks.
Right.
So she's fine. And she's got like a heated pool and stuff. Now it's like,
so you went to Palm Springs and Arizona?
No, I didn't end up going to Palm Springs.
Oh, okay. I thought you went to Palm Springs to see Jess. Yeah.
No, because her parents were there and then she started getting worried about exposing them to like somebody else.
Got you.
So I surpassed that and then just went to Arizona instead.
Got you.
And the guy that I'm hooking up with, he's actually on the way because he's kind of near you and you're closer to Arizona. You're like an hour and a half closer.
I am. Yep.
Worked out.
Well, that's good. It worked out. That's really, that's really cool. Yeah. Work-wise, for me, it's been cool. I mean, I haven't heard anything from Universal Pictures. They were just, because, you know, my company has to deal with Universal, and they just, they're cool. They didn't say, and they were just like, hey, we support everyone. They have money. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So, luckily, I'm okay with all that stuff, you know. because
Yeah.
I actually spent like all of my savings on my kids movie. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, which was 6 figures, but it's made way more than that. So I'm not saying I don't have
Okay.
the money back, but I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm glad
luckily,
I still,
yeah,
yeah.
luckily I still have a savings because I just bought this house, right? And
Yeah, I know,
that's
I
my
know.
job. And now I have like I ordered a shed for my backyard just to kind of make it like a guest house, and that just got
Yeah.
delivered today, so they have to put it together.
So it came, yeah.
Yeah, so at least I'll have stuff to do this week, you know,
Right.
once they put that together. Yeah,
So
but I
is
know
it raining out there like it is out here?
it stopped.
Okay.
It stopped around noon.
Okay, yeah, it's still raining here. It looks like still drizzling and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that's crazy, man. So yeah, I just been laying low, hanging in there. Sorry, guys. It's kind of my fault that the show isn't out already. Rachel wanted to shoot yesterday, but I was just so bored and not feeling it. I just didn't want to even though it would have been something to do. I was like, I don't feel like shooting today.
I know. I kind of didn't either.
I didn't have a reason. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I didn't either.
I was like, tomorrow I'll feel better. I'll be in work mode. You know, I'll do the between this stuff.
And like for me too, for a woman, you do your hair and your makeup.
Yeah, exactly. I thought about that.
Yeah, it was like a lazy Sunday, and I just gotten back.
That's how I felt.
I know. I was like, meh, tomorrow.
Exactly. It worked out perfect. So as soon as we're done, I'll literally release it like right now. As soon as we're done, yeah, I'll release it. People are listening, which is cool, and our subscribers actually has grown, even though I haven't promoted anything, just by a few, but it's still growing a little bit.
Yeah.
And even though they approved the one show with me and Crispy, they still haven't let it out, even though they approved it. It's weird.
Okay.
And I tried calling Google, but no one's answering. They said because of the quarantine, not having people in the office, but they're approving ads though, so I don't get. Anyway. Yeah. We'll figure it out. Anyway, let's get into the show. We're going to talk about, what do you want to talk about first? The porn addiction first, or who pays first?
I do. I want to talk about the porn addiction.
Okay.
I want to get your, we don't have to talk about it for too long, but I wanted to get your advice on this.
Let's go.
So, because I'm kind of encountering a new situation where I'm hanging out with this guy that like never wants to have sex. I don't know what to do.
I always laugh when you tell me these stories. I'm sorry, our listeners, because if you only listen to us and you haven't seen Rachel, she is so fine. She is so beautiful. When she tells me these stories, I'm just like, who are these guys? Like, I just don't get it.
And I know. It's like, how am I finding these people? It's
right.
So, you know, remember I told you last week how, you know, I had met this guy probably close to a year ago. Mm-hmm. But he had a girlfriend at the time, but like we just really connected. Mm-hmm. So now obviously he's not with her anymore, and I went to hang out with him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even there for 5 minutes, and he was just like, "Can we just go like make out for 10 minutes? Like I've been wanting to make out with you since I first met you." And I was like, "Yeah, totally." So you know, we went right to the bedroom, got that out of the way. Mm-hmm. And then remember I told you I had to initiate round 2, and he was kind of like caught off guard, right?
Right.
Since then, like he wants to hang out every weekend. He wants to act like a couple, watch movies, cuddle. Like he's very affectionate. Mm-hmm. He will not sleep with me. So, dude, I go there last weekend, and you know, like we like had dinner, watched a movie, cuddling. He's like, "You are the coolest chick ever. Like, I can't believe you're not married." Like, you know, he's so into me. And then he just like falls asleep. And I'm like, okay, maybe he was tired. Like maybe he'll initiate something tomorrow.
Interesting. Yeah.
And the next day he was like, oh, you know, so he's like, sorry, I jerked off twice yesterday or something. And I was kind of like, okay. So this past weekend I go there, same thing. It's like
just the guy that's close to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We go there, we have dinner. He's like sent his dad pictures of me. Like he's like told his family all about me, you know, and we're just like hooking up, whatever, but he's super into me. And same thing, goes to bed and does not initiate anything. And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And so in like both times too, he's been like, you know, I just got out of a relationship, right? And he did like he did just break up with a girl not that long ago that he like really was into and like really loved, and they just weren't compatible. But when I told my friend in Arizona this, she was like, Rach, she goes, it sounds like porn. like a lot of guys, she said, that you don't realize are addicted to porn. Because she thought the same thing about this other guy. He was one of the guys I talked about on like our pen pal episode, the guy that would clam up when I came to town.
Yeah.
And remember, you were like, is he into women? And I'm like, yes.
Right.
Because he couldn't stay hard. Okay. And when she met him, she was like, I feel like I'm getting this vibe from him, like he's really kinky, but he hides it. Like he probably watches a lot of porn or something. So
the guy here.
No, this was another guy. Yeah, because that guy couldn't stay hard. But that was kind of her thought on both of these guys. It's like if they're not staying hard and they're not putting out, are they addicted to porn? Right. The guy did say last weekend that he jerked off twice that day, but I don't know if he was just saying that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he could have just said that.
Or he is, and he's watching a whole lot of porn. Because I finally asked him. On Sunday, I said, my friend thinks you're addicted to porn, and he didn't deny it. He goes, yeah, I do probably need to stop watching it. Like, I feel like I rubbed my dick off this week or something. Like he made some type of comment like that. But what's going on, Imani? Because I'm like,
I'm thinking as you're telling me.
Because it's not like he can have other girls over right now because we're in a quarantine, right? Because normally that's what I would be thinking. Is like, did you have somebody else over today?
Right.
And I look for little telltale signs around the house too, right? Like,
I think
are there any girl products? Yeah. He gave me like a thing of ice cream, like Ben & Jerry's ice cream, because he had gone vegan. It's still been there in the fridge 2 weekends in a row, right? Like little things. Like what's going on?
It's funny. What's great about this show, and that we're both opposite sex, is that as we talk about these things, I could really give a true perspective in what I'm thinking. And I'm thinking in my mind, like, what would cause me to not have sex with you?
Right.
And it's only a few things. I'm afraid I won't get on hard. Okay. I'm super intimidated. Okay. Or I have like rubbed a couple out and no, I won't get back on hard.
Yeah.
That's the only things that I can think of. Why else wouldn't I want to sleep with you?
Right. And
you know what I'm trying to say?
Right, because at first I'm taking it personally, like, is he not attracted to me or something, right? Was he not into the sex the first time? But he keeps wanting to hang out every weekend, and he's like super into me and super touchy-feely, affectionate. So I'm like, I don't think it's that.
Yeah.
So the
last thing you're thinking is the porn.
I'm thinking maybe he's addicted to porn because he's sitting in his house all day, nothing to do. We're in a quarantine, maybe jacking off. But you would think you'd save that if you got a girl coming over, right?
You want to know what's funny about you just saying that?
Yeah.
So you've like seen the girl that I've been hanging out with. I posted her recently. Whatever, the cat's out the bag, right?
Okay.
So we just had this conversation the other night because. She comes over like every few nights or whatever. It's just going really, really well. She's super cool. And she just asked me the other night, like, so do you jack off? And I'm like, and I said, you know what? Honestly, I don't have a reason to. If I'm seeing someone, I really don't have a reason to. I told her, I was like, I actually just wait for you. And she's like highly sexual. Like she loves sex and she really healthy sexual. Right. And so I was like, you know what? Actually, I'll wait for you. And she's like, oh, okay, you better than me. So she was telling me when she's not with me, she still does her thing on her own.
Right.
And I said, no, I don't have to. I said, I'm not really the type. I said, if I'm in a relationship or I'm seeing someone, I'd much rather be inside of you. I don't want to be inside one of my hands. That's what I told her. And that's just how I am. So I will wait for her. You know what I'm trying to say? Because it's amazing and it's great. And why not just wait? You know what I mean? That's how I am.
I thought maybe because the first time it was like quick, and maybe I think maybe it had been a while or something for him because he kind of made a comment about that. So I thought maybe like he jerked off the second time I came over to try to sustain longer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But then like I kind of made a comment like, okay, well next weekend, you better be putting up. Yeah. And then he still didn't. And then finally, Sunday we woke up and he does address it, right? Because if he doesn't, I'm going to. Because I'm not going to keep. I mean, like not to be like a guy, but I'm not going to keep hanging out with you if I'm not getting any dick. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, driving all the way here, cooking dinner, like for what?
Exactly.
What am I getting out of this?
Right, exactly.
So he finally, but he keeps blaming it on, like, he keeps bringing up the fact that he like just got out of a relationship. Like, would that mess with your head if you just got out of something with a girl you were really into? No, you're still gonna do it, right?
If it's recent,
it is recent.
I think it depends on how recent it is, because when me and my ex broke up, I remember I just wasn't in the right headspace, and I was thinking to myself,
yeah,
if I tried to be intimate with someone else, it probably wouldn't work out correctly. Because you know what I'm saying? Because I just wasn't in the right headspace. It had been about a month after.
Yeah.
And I had opportunities, and I knew I couldn't go there and do it. So it took me a little time, you know what I'm saying? And this girl I'm hanging out with now is probably like the perfect timeline I needed to actually go there again and be, you know what I'm saying? And be totally over that situation. And that's probably the time I actually need it. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, I guess maybe it could be that, because he
brought How long ago was it? How long ago was it?
I think it was really recent. Like, yeah, it was probably right before we started hanging out.
Okay, yeah. So that could be it. That could be. Because I know that's the way I felt even a month later, which kind of sucked, because my birthday was Valentine's Day.
Right.
And I had the opportunity to be with people, and I couldn't. I knew had I tried that, it would have been.
Yeah.
I just wasn't.
I mean, he got hard, no problem. But it's like, I feel like he's trying to do all the other coupley things. It's like we're acting like a couple, but there's no sex.
But that part, yeah.
Right. So he, because he said that.
Yeah.
Because he brought it up again Sunday morning, and was like, like, I just got out of something, and I go, and he's like, I just want to address it. And I'm like, yeah, like, what's going on? And he goes, I really like you, and I love hanging out with you, and I don't want you to think it's just about that. But, I just went through all this.
I have something to say about that too. This is
good. Okay.
This is good. I have something to say about that too, because this girl I'm hanging out with, she would come over, and that would happen, and it would be amazing. And I know she has a high sex drive, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I also know that she's an awesome woman. So just so that we won't start off and build the wrong foundation based on sex.
Yeah.
She was here one time, and I purposely didn't sleep with her and told her why. And it was for that exact reason.
Okay.
I was like, I didn't do anything last night yesterday, because I don't want that. I don't want it to just be about that.
Okay. Yeah,
you know
that's basically what he was saying.
So I purposely didn't initiate and told her that I didn't want to, and I wanted us to just vibe. And it was actually a good thing to do. And we actually got a really cool understanding, and she liked the fact that I actually did that.
Okay.
And all I needed to do it was one time. Yeah, all I needed to do it was just one time, just to kind of set a precedence. Like, hey, for me, this is not what I want this to be about.
Right.
And she understood, and she was like, hey, I love sex. You're a great guy. I like what we're building, and I also want you to know, though, that I love sex. It is very important to me, and I don't look at it as a difference, but I'm glad you took the time and say, hey, let's focus on who we are. We know what the physical is there, and it's great.
Right,
but let's take a moment to just focus on that. So it was good, and it was just one time, and it's straight now. You know what I'm saying? So I purposely just did that.
Yeah, well, for me, it's like I'm kind of just in this for the sex. Because I'm not trying to date him. Like, he does not have his act together at all. Like, I mean, he's the same age as me, but like maturity wise, he's so behind. Like, he's just but he's so good looking that it's like, that's why I'm in it for the sex. And it's like, no, babe, I'm not trying to date you here. I can't say that to him because I think I'd offend him, but yeah, he's just like, cause he like used to be an alcoholic. So he's like in AA, and he's just like trying to get his life together. And so he's just kind of a mess. But I also like that. That's good to hear from you, because I mean, he's very honest with me. Like, he was a playboy. Like, I mean, and if you see this guy, you're like, oh yeah. I mean,
I got you. Yeah.
He's he's like, I've cheated on every girlfriend I've ever been with, except for the very last one. And so I just initially was like, when he wasn't sleeping with me, I'm like, what's going on? In my head, I'm like, oh, he had another girl over today. Like I'm thinking he's this playboy, right? But now actually that we've been hanging out, I kind of don't really think that anymore. Cause just like he'll make comments, like he'll talk to his family when I'm at the house and he's like, oh, Rachel's here. Like, so they know all about me. And he's been like, I've been in this apartment for 10 months. And he's like, you're the only person I've ever had over here. Cause like his last girlfriend, he went to her house. And so he says things now that I'm kind of like, oh, I think maybe he's not as much of a player as I thought he was. Because at first I'm like, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. You want to just spend time with me,
Right.
So,
yeah, sometimes we just, man, it's true. Sometimes we just don't want to. I mean, it's so funny because she was just telling me with someone she was with before that it was just what you doing, but in the reverse. She just wanted to sleep with this guy, and he wanted a relationship, and she had to tell him, "Listen, I'm not trying to have a relationship." But he's like, "You're so fine." Like,
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
And what did I tell you? How all my relationships come about is because I don't have expectations, and I think it's just sex, and then they want to be my boyfriend. It always happens. But
Rach, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't it? Let me tell you how guys look at it. Why wouldn't they though? You're fine, you're good looking, you're smart, you have your own shit. You're like the perfect catch. So when men meet someone like you, first thing we go is, why the fuck doesn't she want a relationship? You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, because remember I told you, I think a lot of them are intimidated. Like they don't like that. Remember I told you about the guy I was talking to on Bumble, and he's like, I'm just a bartender. Like some of them feel like a loser.
Right. But what are the ones who, but then the ones who want to date you, you're like, I just want to have sex. You know what I'm saying?
I know, it's so funny. But like they end up just wearing me down. I feel like it's like, all right, fine, I'll be your girlfriend.
Yeah, because who wouldn't? You got to remember that. Who wouldn't? And I think for me, if I met a girl like you, I would just be, if you told me straight up that that's what it was going to be, I would just have it in my mind that that's what it's going to be. And it's so funny because I had a conversation with Crispy about this in regards to the girl that I'm seeing right now. Because I was like, she's someone that I would make my girl. She's smart. She's a model. She's cool as hell, like super down to earth. You know what I mean? The sex is amazing. I'm like, I would make her my girl I mean, we just click and vibe. You know what I mean? So I told her, I said, now, if you know that you don't want to go down that road, let me know now, because I'll just be like, oh, this is just some sex thing. I won't even get that caught up. And Crispy was saying, man, as much as you say that, you'll end up getting caught up anyway if you really like her. So you can say that as much as you want, but your feelings will take over.
That's why I never talk about it. Like, I never bring it up. And that's why I always yell at my girlfriends too, when they're like, okay, I've been hooking up with this guy for like months. Like, we need to have a talk. And I'm like, sweetie, if he wanted to make you his girlfriend, he would have done it by now. You know what I mean? Like, I swear to God, I had a friend who was sleeping with a guy for like 9 months. And I was like, oh, honey, no. You're never going to be his girlfriend. Never going to be his girlfriend.
No, yeah.
I know. So finally Sunday, I literally put on, because I was thinking maybe it was like the porn thing, like, and I'm like, all right, well, like, what's going to turn this guy on? I literally put on the first episode of Californication where the girl, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's a lot of naked women in it and there's a lot of sex. And I think next time I might just throw it out there and just be like, okay, if this is a porn thing, like, do you want to just watch some porn together? You know what I mean?
Right, that's a good idea.
Because I swear to God, it worked. I put on the first episode of Californication. There's like this very descript sex scene. And right after that, he was like, all right, do you want to go have some sex? And I was like, yes! Dying over here. I went to bed like, I felt like I had blue balls.
Oh God,
I'm like ready to hump this guy's leg like a dog,
Yeah. That's so funny.
So I might test that. I might like ask if he wants to watch some porn together and see if that
sounds like a good idea, actually.
I know.
Yeah.
Have you ever known anybody that's been addicted to porn?
No, not at all.
Okay.
But I did see a special on it was it on CNN? It was a really good special, and I actually saved it because I wanted to talk to my daughter about it. The show was about how teenagers become addicted to it too soon in high school and how it affects their relationships.
Okay.
And I saved the episode for my daughter. But actually, I do know someone that was addicted to porn. He was
Okay.
a famous actor. I can't say his name, and we had a
Yeah.
company together. And he was totally addicted to porn. Yep, he was.
Did it affect his sex life?
Yep, because all he would do is just do that.
Right.
He'd never connect with any ladies to have sex because he would just do that. I swear to God.
So have you ever watched Black Mirror?
I've seen 1 or 2 episodes.
So there's an episode that I just watched. It's funny, at this guy's house, and it's sort of ironic because it was a similar situation, but it's like these 2 Black guys that are like best friends, but they kind of act a little gay, like they like kind of wrestle and stuff, but they're both married and, you know, or with other, you know, one has a girlfriend, one's married. And like they go into this like virtual reality world when they play video games. And all of a sudden, and then they sleep together. But it's weird because one of them in this virtual reality world is a woman. Yeah. It's like one of those Asian like martial arts fighting, you know, videos. But all of a sudden, they just like look at each other and they just start going at it. And it's Black Mirror, so you know it's all about technology and everything. Right. So, but they can feel all the sensations, right? So one of them can feel sex as a woman. And then like, but it's sort of like a porn thing because the guy stops sleeping with his wife because he's, you know, like basically having sex in this virtual world with this other guy.
Right.
So finally the guy, you know, they actually meet up in real life to see if they're really gay and they kiss. And he's like, no, I didn't feel anything. He goes, me neither. And he's like, so they just continue to like do this.
That's interesting.
In this like, this like virtual world. It's really weird, but he ends up having to like tell the wife because the wife's like, what's going on? Are you having an affair? And like, she thinks he's cheating on her because every night she's like, let's have sex. And he's like, no,
he doesn't want to. Yeah.
I'm tired. And he doesn't want to, and it affects their sex life. So at the end, spoiler alert to anyone listening to this. At the end, they end up coming to an agreement where they can have an open marriage. She takes her wedding ring off once a week, goes to a bar to hook up with another guy. And he goes to the virtual world and like sleeps with this guy.
That's so crazy.
Isn't that weird?
That's so weird.
But I'm sitting there watching this and he's asleep and I'm going, oh, this feels like me right now. Like I'm dying to have sex. And he's like, tired, you know?
Right. That's so crazy.
I don't know. I'm going to try the porn thing and then maybe just give it a few more weeks and see if it changes. And maybe this just is where his head is at with the relationship. Because he did say this girl was the first girl he's ever not cheated on. And he really did like love her and everything.
Got you.
So I don't.
One of the things I have to work on is the whole morning sex thing, which we've talked about before. I'm not that good at that, and I've acknowledged it, and I've talked to this girl about it, and so she was just like, you know what? In the morning, I'm just gonna rape you. That's what I said. That's fine. I'm acknowledging that I need to work on this and handle it, and you know what I'm saying? And I told her why, is because I just want to get up, get to work. I'm not even thinking about that.
And most guys are like that. Yeah.
That's what it is. Not that I don't like sex. I just don't want to do that in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And every guy's different. And it's funny because this guy's like an afternooner. Because the first time I went there, I think it was like, 4 in the afternoon or something. And he wanted to go right away.
Yeah.
But then the second time when I got there at night, he's like all excited. I'm there. He wants to eat dinner. He wants to watch movies. He wants to show me his speakers and play music.
Yeah.
And then he said, the other night, like, sorry, like I'll get you in the morning. And I go, I know you're not going to get me in the morning because you're not going to be a morning guy because he's super ADD as it is. I'm like, you're the type of guy who's going to get up at 7 a.m. and like be doing a million things. And he's like,
yep, that's
I
me.
know. And he goes, I know. So I literally stuck around until the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then like had to get him in the afternoon again.
Yeah. See, I'm at night. I love to like at night.
Most guys are
get
at night,
all crazy and sweaty and work out again and go to sleep.
It's the end of the day and you're like relaxed.
I love it.
I know. And I'm the opposite where at night it's like I just want to like go to bed. In the morning I'm like ready.
I'm just the opposite, man. That's so funny. Yeah, so just see what happens the next few times with him. I'm interested to hear the outcome.
Yeah.
to see if he comes around and stuff.
Yeah.
And after some time has
No
gone
pun
by,
intended.
and yeah, exactly, no pun intended. I really want to see if this guy comes around for you. I'm interested. You know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, man.
Do
That's interesting.
we have enough time to talk about paying on a first date?
Oh, definitely.
We do.
Because we
Okay.
started. I mean, we're 35 minutes in.
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
So
Yeah,
because we can
some
either
could
do.
be an hour.
Yeah, I was
Some
gonna
could be
say.
an hour.
Because we can either do 2 shorter episodes or 1 long one.
It's up to you. Tell me what you want to do. I
Um,
can cut it now, and we could do another one real quick and be covered for next Monday, or it's completely up to you. What do you want to do?
I'm thinking if we do it, we should just do it now, and then worst case, we just make it 2 episodes.
Yeah, but if we do that, I'll end this recording. I'll close the show out.
Okay.
Then I'll call you back. I mean, we could be wearing the same thing. It's no big deal. And unless you want to change, I'll let you change. I'll email you back in like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah,
it's up
let's
to you.
yeah, I kind of think we should make it a new one, because I feel like we might be talking for another 40 minutes.
Yeah, on this one. This is a good topic. All right, let's make it a new one.
Okay.
That's cool. So I'll just cut into this. We'll close this one out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
So,
yeah. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Any final
on this topic?
Oh man. Yeah.
Because the only other thing I was going to say, the only time this has ever happened to me where a guy didn't want to really like sleep together as much as I did was, remember I told you about the guy that would freak out when I went in my head?
Yes.
He would go soft.
Yes.
He was the only other one. He had also just got out of a relationship though. So that could have been it. Cause he definitely wasn't, I didn't get a porn vibe from him at all. But it was like, he wanted to be buddies. So, and it was kind of the same with this guy, but more like on a friend level. He'd be like, let's go to the beach, let's, do a movie marathon. And but he wasn't as like affectionate as this guy. It was like, it felt like he was my buddy. And I'm like, where's the sex? And I had to like trick him into having sex with me. I swear to God. Cause on like, it was probably like our like 3rd or 4th date, and I was ready. And he kept like, I would meet him at a place and he wasn't trying to come home with me. And so finally I was like, hey, why don't you meet me at my place? There's a great restaurant across the street. I literally had to like get him in my house. Then at the end of the date, he was like, oh, I'm going to use the bathroom. I was like, why don't you just use mine? I'm right across the street. And I had to get him there. And like,
you had to do something a guy would do.
I know. It's like, why am I the dude here? And like
is
tricking
so
these guys
funny.
into sex. Yeah, it's so weird because I don't know. I'm like, are they not as sexual as I am? Are some guys like not wanting to have that much sex?
Some guys don't. I know women think that we all do all the time, but some don't. Some don't. And I know for me, creative guys, even though I love sex, creative guys will do something creative sometimes first.
Yes.
Even though I love sex, it's true.
So funny you say that. My friend Scott is like that, the one that's in the open marriage. I mean, he loves women, he loves sex, but when he's in the middle of like a creative project, he said that put a strain on his sex life, and he wasn't banging his wife for like weeks.
Yeah, that's how we are. When we're really creative, it's
interesting.
Yep. It's true. Okay. Well, last thing I wanted to say is that I'm just the opposite. I've never been into porn like that. I mean, I'm the guy that don't need to go to the strip club because I'm like, why do I want to see some shit that I can't get? Like,
right.
I'm that guy. When I look at porns, a lot of times it's so out there anyway, and it's not actual sexual reality. A lot of it, you know what I mean? I've just never been into it. I don't need it. Never been into it. You know what I mean? So I don't have that problem.
I forget about it, to be honest. Like I forget it exists. My ex and I used to watch porn together.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it can like get you in the mood.
That might be fun to watch with someone. I've never tried that.
It's like it is because it kind of gets you in the mood, right? Like I'll watch it for a few minutes and it's like, okay, I'm ready.
Exactly.
It turns me on.
Yeah.
I forget about it, but there's a show out right now called Mrs. Fletcher with Catherine Hahn, and it's all about a mom who like develops a porn addiction.
Interesting.
It's actually really good because her son goes to school and she hasn't had sex in like 3 years. And so she was like, she kind of has this like sexual awakening. Like she starts watching all this porn, and then she just starts going to bars like, hey, you want to come home with me? You know, like just she has this total sexual awakening. And then also, spoiler alert, her son ends up coming home early from college and doesn't tell her. And he walks in on her having a threesome with like another chick and a dude that he went to high school with.
Oh my God.
Like, and that's how it ends.
Plot twist. Yeah.
But it's so funny because it shows her like watching all this like different porn and like masturbating all these different ways.
Yeah.
It made me want to watch porn. Like I was like by myself in Colorado and I was like, I'm gonna put some porn on right now. It's just funny the way they portrayed it. I was like, you know what? I never watch porn. Like maybe I should do that.
I've never tried watching it with someone I'm dating. That's what I want to try and see how that turns out. I've never. That might be fun.
I think it could be a good thing to do together.
A little Hennessy, a little porn, and a nice smash after.
You have to want to watch the same type, right? Because I always want to watch the ones with girls with big boobs.
Right. Okay.
In my brain, when I get off, like that's always what I picture is like a girl with big boobs because I don't really have big boobs. I'm like normal. But like my ex was a boob guy, so we would have to agree on the same genre. I'd be like, just find one with a girl with big boobs. Like, okay.
That's a note I gotta take. Make sure it's the same genre. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta want the same one.
I've never done it. That I'd like to experience, see what that's like. Just watching some porn. I've never done that before. Yeah.
I know, but I do think it can affect the relationship because I do think the guy in Boston that couldn't stay hard, I think he might have had a porn problem.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering if you just watch so much of it that I don't know, maybe you can't stay hard with like a regular girl.
Yeah, well, if you're watching it and you jack off too much, when it comes to the real thing, you're off. It puts you off. Yeah.
But I'm also wondering, like, so this was my thought with the guy now is I'm almost thinking, does he want like a normal girl for like the girlfriend or the girl he's dating? But then I'm like, is this why he cheats? Because he actually wants like a kinky chick in the bedroom. This is what I wanted to say too, and I forgot about it. So there was this couple episodes of Sex and the City where one of the main characters, her husband can't get hard, and she like doesn't know why, can't figure it out. And then she walks in on him jerking off to, actually it was a porno magazine, right? This was like the 90s, whatever, before we had smartphones. And she's like, what the hell? So, and he can't get hard for his wife. He can only get hard to girls in porn. So, and this is almost what I'm thinking with this guy is, I'm like, did he cheat on all his girlfriends because like he wants like the kind of the wifey material at home, but can only get off to like porno girls? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, is that why he cheats? Yeah. I think he was kind of in the Hollywood scene for a while. Like, I don't know who he was. Yeah, but
probably. And what's funny to bring it full circle with a little irony, mentioning Sex and the City.
Oh,
the actor who has the porn addiction, he's the ex-boyfriend of the girl that stars in Sex and the City.
No kidding.
Yes.
Like in real life?
In real life, the Kim Cattrall character.
Oh, no kidding.
My friend is her ex-boyfriend, the one that has the porn addiction in real life.
Oh, that's funny.
What's crazy. So we just brought it back full circle.
I always felt like they got those episodes from real life. You know, because there's so many scenarios that you watch in that show and you're like, oh my God, that's happened to me, or that's happened to a friend of mine. Because I'm like, how do these writers keep thinking of these scenarios? Like,
that's so funny you brought that up.
Yeah.
And he has, I'm sure he still has the same, I'm sure nothing's changed. I'm positive. Yeah. I mean, I'd literally take him to the porn place to switch out DVDs
and this is a good thing to say too, like, because you know he probably has an addictive personality, right?
He does. Yep, he did.
And this guy right now is in AA because he has an addictive personality. Like, and I said that to him. I was like, I think you have a bit of an addictive personality, because now that he's not drinking, like he can't even watch a movie with me. He plays like online gambling games. And he smokes, like he like vapes, because he needs something else to put his addiction in. You know what I mean?
Interesting, yeah.
So I'm wondering, that was another thought too, was like, I wonder if because he has an addictive personality, he has all these other vices, and maybe one of them's porn. I don't know.
This actor had an addicted person. He was addicted to something else, and then it turned into porn.
Yeah, because they always
you hit on the button.
Russell Brand. So I know him through a friend, and he's been sober for a long time. But my friend, who's friends with him, you know, he goes, Rach, I almost feel like though he swapped sex with the drugs, because he's like, I mean, when I first met him too, he was like, hello, you're very pretty. Like he just loves women. And my friend said, I can't even go out to dinner with him because he will leave with the girl. Like he'll leave me at the restaurant by myself. If we go to yoga class, he'll leave with the girl. So he almost felt like, this was years ago too. This was a long time ago. So I don't know if he has kind of brought this up to him since then, but he goes, I feel like he swapped one addiction for the other and he doesn't realize it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that can happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's so funny. That's exactly what it is. The addictive personality.
Yeah. Like, how about you just get addicted to me?
Exactly. Exactly.
3 times a day.
Exactly. That's all you need. Yeah, I'm not into it, man. I'm happily not into porn like that. But again, I do want to try watching it with someone I'm seeing. I've never done that.
Yeah.
That might be, call me green, listeners, but I've never done that. What can I say? There's more life to experience, more stuff to experience.
I know.
So I know when we started, we said we would talk about who pays first. We'll save that for next Monday. And today, for the rest of this week, you guys quarantined at home. You can listen to this porn addiction episode. And if it has any effect in your relationship, it's something to think about, you know? Yeah. And we can and you know what? I think it's good if we do another episode too, because you can probably promote the first date episode. We can make that a little more G-rated since this one's probably going to be a no-go. Right. Oh, you want to, let's try to promote the first date episode. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Because all these countries have all these rules. It's so funny. Right. It's so funny. Anyway, guys, that's our show. It's relationships, romance, and quarantine. Once again, podcast. It's Imani, Shakur, Rachel K. Burke. Don't forget to follow us, subscribe. On ISENT Group Digital on YouTube. You know, and we'll see you guys next Monday virtually, like we're doing until all this stuff is over. You know, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.